Good morning, Standard 9th. So before starting with today's class, let us just recapitulate what we studied in the previous class. In the last class, we discussed about arguments against democracy. Let us just have a look at the points. So the arguments against democracy are: number one, it leads to instability because the leaders in a democracy, in this form of government, they keep on changing. Number two, democracy is all about political competition and there is no scope for morality. Number three, so many people have to be consulted in a democracy that it leads to delays. Number four, elected leaders do not know the best interest of the people and it leads to bad decisions. Number five, democracy leads to corruption as it is based on electoral competition. And number six, ordinary people don't know what is good for them. They should not decide anything. Now we discussed all these points in detail in our last class. Now let us start with today's topic. So the topic that we'll be studying today is arguments for democracy, that is arguments in favor of democracy. In 1958, China faced a famine. Famine means extreme scarcity or shortage of food, and nearly 3 crore people died in this famine. At that time, India's economic condition was not better than China. Still, India did not have a famine of this kind that China had. Why is it so? Economists thought that it was because of different government policies. Students, we have studied that China is a one-party nation. That means there is only one major party, and every time this major party only wins the elections. In other words, we can say that there is nobody to put pressure on the government to respond to the citizens' needs. If they want to, they will respond. If they don't want to, they won't. Why? Because they don't have the fear of losing. But that is not the case in India. India has multi-party elections. If the government will not respond to the needs of the citizens, then there are people who will criticize the ruling party. Also, they have the fear of losing the elections. There is media to criticize, there is this opposition parties to criticize. So we can say that in a non-democratic government, the rulers may and can respond to the people's need. But it all depends on the wish of the ruler. If the rulers don't want to, they don't have to act according to the wishes of the people. But in a democracy, it is required that the rulers have to attend the needs of the people. So the first argument in favor of democracy is that a democratic government is better government because it is more accountable form of government. In a democratic government, the rulers are accountable, they are answerable to the citizens. They have to cater to the needs of the citizen. They have to respond to the needs of the citizens. Moving ahead, students, remember the third disadvantage of democracy, that it leads to delays in decision making. Of course it does, but that happens because it is based on consultations and discussions. A lot of people are consulted, and when they sit and think together, then they are able to point out the possible mistakes. They are able to analyze each point minutely, and thus it reduces the chance of rash or any irresponsible decision. Rash means something that is done without careful consideration of the possible consequence. Thus, the second argument in favor of democracy is that democracy improves the quality of decision making. How? Because it involves discussions and meetings. It is based on discussions and meetings. The decisions are not taken in a hurry, but proper meetings are done and proper time is given to each and every point. So it does take time, but it is worth it. Moving ahead to the third argument. India is a diverse country. People here belong to different religions, speak different languages, and have different castes. They have their own views and opinions. There is a possibility that one group might clash with another. So what is the solution? The solution is very simple, that the group that is more powerful should rule, and others will have to accept that. But students, this system will lead to unhappiness. So the only way out of this problem, or we can say a peaceful solution to this problem, is democracy. How? In a democracy, no one is permanent loser and no one is a permanent winner. This means it is not that only a particular group will rule. If that group, if that ruling party will not rule properly, then they will be removed. Students, remember, no society can fully and permanently resolve the conflict among different groups. But we can learn to respect these differences and evolve some mechanism to negotiate them. Democracy supports peace. It gives equal chance to different groups. It does not protect a group from the view of superiority, but it respects the say of the majority and not the say of the superiority. So we can say that in a diverse country like India, democracy keeps our country together. And this gives the third argument in favor of democracy, that is, it provides a method to deal with differences and conflicts. Different groups can live in a democratic form of government or in a democratic country peacefully. Moving ahead to the fourth argument. Students, democracy is based on the principle of political equality. What does this term political equality mean? It means that citizens have an equal voice over governmental decisions. Citizens have an equal say over any governmental decisions. But here it refers to a situation where all citizens of a particular country are free to exercise their political freedom. How? Through the voting process without having any bias. So here specifically we are talking about the right to vote that is given to all the citizens of a democratic country, irrespective of their caste, class or color or gender. Next point. People are not subject to the rulers, they are rulers themselves. Because students, in a democratic country, the people who are ruling, they are chosen by the people, by the citizens. So we can say that indirectly who is ruling? The people are only ruling. And next, even when they make mistakes, they are responsible for their own conduct. So students, in a democratic form of government, if citizens are committing any mistake, if they are doing anything wrong, then they will be held responsible for it and they will get the punishments accordingly, irrespective of which class or religion or gender they belong to. So we can say that democracy enhances the dignity of the citizens. And this is the fourth argument in favor of democracy. Dignity means the state of being worthy of honor or respect. Dignity is a necessary condition of democracy. And it is assured when you are in equal footing in terms of socio-economic status. Dignity will only be assured, students, when the people feel that they are equal. Everybody is equal. It is a principle of political equality on recognizing that everybody has got the equal status. The poorest, the richest, everybody have same rights. And so we can say that in a democratic form of government, the citizens live with dignity. So this is the fourth argument in favor of democracy. Moving ahead to the last argument in favor of democracy. Students, we know to err is human. That means it is natural for humans to make mistakes. And so democracy also can't guarantee that no mistakes will be done. Mistakes can take place, but then democracy has an advantage, and that is that it cannot be hidden for long, and there is always a chance of correction. How? So as I told you all that in democracy, no one is a permanent loser or no one is a permanent winner. So if the ruling party has made some wrong decision, then they have to change it, or else the people will change the rulers. In democracy, people are given certain rights and they have the right to speak. So in this form of government, people can raise their voice against if there is mistake in any step taken by the government. So this gives us the last argument in favor of democracy, and that is democracy allows us to correct its own mistakes. Students, here it is written that democracy allows us means the people, to correct its own mistake. Its own mistakes means the mistake that has been done by the ruling party. So how it allows the citizen? Because I told you all that citizens have the right to speak. So citizens will speak against the ruling party. So the ruling party will change the wrong decision that they have taken. Also, if the ruling party, in case it doesn't change its decision, then what the people will do, what we will do, we'll change the rulers. So that is why it is said that democracy allows us to correct its own mistakes. So this is the fifth argument in favor of democracy. So that's all for today's class. Today we studied arguments in favor of democracy. Students, please read these points from your book, and these are your questions for assignment. Students, I've also written the marks. So you will write the answer accordingly. I've told you all that the marking pattern that we follow is 1, 3, 5. That is, you'll get 1 mark question, 3 marks question and 5 marks question. So please read the chapter and then find out the points and write the answers of these questions in your copies. Thank you, class.